All right, so we are going to take notes. These notes are for chapter 4 and section 1. We're talking about writing writing equations in slope-intercept form. So maybe, there we go. All right, so a few things that we need to know is vocabulary words, where we always start. And the first one is a constraint. And a constraint is a condition where a solution has to satisfy. So all this is a condition that your solution has to satisfy. So basically, if I said that it has to be raining, then your condition would be that there are clouds in the sky, something like that. So a condition and then linear extrapolation is using the linear equation to make a prediction. So, few reminders. Slope-intercept form is the form y equals mx plus b. We talked about this last chapter, where your b value is your y-intercept, and your m value is your slope. So, we are going to go through some examples together. You will have 3 problems as homework. Okay, so first example, write an equation with the following information. A line passes through the point 2, 1 with a slope of 3. So I want this in the form as y equals mx plus b. I know that my slope is 3, so that is my m value, but I'm given this random point. And that point isn't something with the y-intercept. Remember, our y-intercept points are going to be 0, I'm just going to put a, some number where a is. So, but 0 should be in the x value, and I have a 2 in the x value right now, so that's not my y-intercept. But I do have a y and an x in my equation. So I have an x value here and a y value. So I can plug all these numbers in and then solve and find my y-intercept. So my y value is 1, my x value is 2, I don't know what b is, but I do know that my slope is 3. So I'm going to put my 2 in parentheses there and put my 3 out front. And then we know how to solve an equation like this and solve for a letter. So I know that 1 is now equal to 3 times 2, which is 6, plus b. And then I can subtract my 6 to the other side, which will give me -5 is equal to b. So now I know that my y-intercept's b. I know what my slope is. It's 3. And I can now write y equals 3x minus 5. And that would be my final answer. We are going to do one more like that. Okay, so a line passes through the point -2, 5. So I have an x value, I have a y value, and I have a slope of 3, which is my m value. So y equals mx plus b. So I can plug all these things in. So y is 5, m is 3, x is -2. Remember, this is saying my slope times my x. That's why I have those parentheses there. Plus b, which I'm trying to find. So now I have 5 equals -6 plus b. And then I'm going to add 6 to both sides. So that's going to give me 11 is equal to b. And now I can write my final equation. So y is equal to 3x plus 11. And that would be my final answer. All right, so in some situations, that's what we're going to get. We're going to get a point and we're going to get the slope. But what happens if I'm just given 2 points and asked to write the equation? So again, I don't have a y-intercept here, but I do have an x value and I have a second x value. I have a y value and I have a second y value. Oops. So I can start off by finding my slope. And I can do that by doing y2 minus y1. So I'm going to do 4 minus 1 all over 2 minus 3. Find my slope. So it'll give me 3 over negative 1, which is negative 3. And then I can do that same process that I did for those last few examples. I can do my equation, which is y equals mx plus b. And now I'm given 2 points, so I can choose which point I want to use. I'm just going to use the first point, so I can plug in 1 equals negative 3, 3. So I am using that point 3, 1. And I found my slope up here. Remember, that's your slope. And then plus b. So again, I'm solving for b, so now I'm going to have negative 9 plus b is equal to 1. Add 9 on both sides, and now I will have that 10 is equal to b. So I can finally write that final equation. Y is equal to, negative 3, x plus 10. Okay. We are going to do one more like that. So I have these 2 points again. First thing I have to do is find my slope. So for these, I need to find the slope. And then I need to find my b value. So find the slope, then find b. Okay, so m is equal to 12 minus negative 8 all over negative 1 minus 4, which is going to give me 20 over negative 5, which is negative 4. So that's my slope. So then y equals mx plus b. It doesn't matter which point I use. I'm going to use the second point this time. So I have negative 8 is my y value. M, which we just found, is negative 4 times 4 plus b. So now I'm finding b, which is my second step. That is negative 16. Add 16 to both sides, which is going to be 8 is equal to b. So now I can just write my final equation. Which is going to be y is equal to negative 4x plus 8. So that's the second way that we could be given some information, and we have to find what our slope-intercept form is with the constraints that we're given, which are those 2 points, or the point and the slope. So I do want to do some work with some word problems. So the table shows the number of domestic flights in the U.S. from 2008 to 2012. We're supposed to write an equation in slope-intercept form that can be used to predict the number of flights in the number if the number continues to decrease at the same rate. So notice that all of our flights are in millions, and they are decreasing. So I go from 9.39 to 8.77 to 8.7 to 8.65 to 8.44, so on and so forth. So we want to write an equation so that maybe we can find out, for example, how many flights are in 2025. And so what we're going to do is we need to pick 2 points. So our first step is to pick 2 points. It doesn't matter what 2 points. They can be side by side. They could be the top point and the bottom point. It doesn't matter. This is going to be x. Flights will be our y. Okay, so we want to pick 2 points, and then just like before, we're going to find the slope. We're going to find b, and then we're going to write our equation. Okay, so for the first thing, we have to pick 2 points. It doesn't matter what 2 points. I'm going to pick 2 points side by side. So I'm just going to pick these top 2 points here. So I'm going to do 9.39 minus 8.77 all over 2008 minus 2009. So this is going to be negative 1, Let me grab a calculator really quick to make sure that I do the decimals right. 9.39 minus 8.77. And that's going to be 0.62. And if we divide that by -9, -1, that should not be a -9 there. That was my fault. -1, we will have a slope of -0.62. That's fine, we can have decimals. So now we need to find b. So I'm going to use this first point here, and I'm going to plug in 9.39 for y is equal to my slope, which is -0.62 times 2008 plus b. So now I'm going to do 0.62 times 2008, which is going to be negative. I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing this right. Oh, I'm doing this wrong. Okay, let's back up here for a second. Rather than using the years, we're going to use we're going to change them to 1, 2, 3. It'll be, so like this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this will be easier. So again, we're going to do 9.39 over 8.77. Oops, sorry, minus 8.77. All over and be 1 minus 2, which is going to be our 0.62 all over -1, so it doesn't change anything. And then we are going to have a slope of -0.62. So now I'm going to use my y, which is going to be 9.39, and it's equal to -0.62 times 1. That's where our changes. Nothing else changes but that. Plus b. So now I have 9.39 equals -0.62 plus b. Add that 0.62 to both sides. So let me make sure I do this math right. 9.36 plus 0.62 is 9.98 is equal to b, and then we can write our final equation. So y equals -0.62x plus 9.98, and that would be our final answer for part A. The second part says how many flights would be in 2025. So we have to think about what we could do to be able to get from 2012 to 2008, which is our 0.1. So in 2025, what point number is that? And 2025 is going to be, and I thought that I did this earlier, and now I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we have to do, so from 2008 to 2025, oops, 5, 12, so 12, 2013 would be 6, 17 would be 7, so 2013 would be 6, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I'm trying to think of an easy way to tell you to get there. Minus 20, 20, oops. 25 minus 2012. 15 plus 5. because I have that I used 20, and I'm trying to remember how I got to 20 very quickly, and I didn't write it down. So 2025 minus 2008. Okay, so if you do 2008, and I apparently used the wrong number, or 2025 minus 2008. Oops. You are going to get 2008 minus 25. Oops. You're going to get 17, but we have to include 2008, so we have to make this 18. Because we are including that number. So from 2008, including 2008 to 2025, we have 18 years that pass. So I'm going to have y is equal to negative 0.62, plug in 18 here, plus 9.98. So I'm going to have that 0.62 times my 18, and then plus 9.98, and that's going to give me not what I thought it would give me. What is happening here? .62 times 18 plus 9.98. So according to this, you're going to have a negative amount of flights, negative 1.18, which means that you are not going to any longer have flights in 2025. So because we can't have negative flights, that doesn't exist. All right, so I'm not sure why I was not getting the same answer as I was originally, but that's okay, things happen. I might have done my math wrong in the very beginning. Minus 8.77, nope, 0.62. Okay, so we are going to move on and go to the next problem. It is, oh, I didn't do an extra problem. Okay, so same idea for that one for number 3 here. I'm going to have you do these ones on your own. I will check them when you come back to school. If we don't come back to school, I'll have you turn them back in. Like, if we don't come back tomorrow, then I'll have you turn them in online tomorrow. So go ahead and do these 3 problems. Use the examples. If you have questions on number 3, leave a comment on the actual post, so that way everybody can see your question and I can help you through it.